Hi, I'm Alan Schroeder. You can reach me at mlk1axs@gmail.com. Here's an example of some of my pepper mills I make on my Avid CNC. As you can see, I have smooth pepper mills, hexagon pepper mills, and twisted hexagon pepper mills. There's laminated wood there. That's poplar. This is a walnut twisted hexagon mill. This is African mahogany twisted maple. And then I can custom make your pepper mill to match your cutting board. Here's how I do my hexagon pepper and salt mills. Alright, here's my file and Aspire. This section right here is the pepper mill. And you have to build in some bosses so you can take that to your lathe and part everything off and hollow the mill out. And the same thing with the salt shaker right here. If I go to my view over here and I go to my preview, right, and preview all my tool paths, there it is flat, and I'll show you how it looks round stock right here. Okay, and there's my finished product right there that will be on my mill right here. And what we'll do is we'll cut these off here, and so we can put that on the lathe and hollow them out. So you got to build in the bosses. The first thing I did after I chucked up my piece of wood is built a 34-inch rounding tool path with the gadgets up here. And if you go into gadgets and wrapping and go to create a rounding tool path, and that's where I made my rounding tool path to round my stock. Once the stock is prepped and round, I just ran my files and I included some different pictures along the process showing you the hexagon being cut out in the pepper mills. Here you can see the bosses. Here you can see the hexagon right here. Here you should be able to see both the pepper mill and the salt mill. And here's the final project right here before I take it off the CNC. Once the part is off the CNC, we'll now have to cut it apart to the different sections. This is what it looks like when it's cut to the different sections. Once the sections are cut, I mark the center on each end of the sections. Here is the pepper mill chucked up, and you start out with an 1 5/8" drill bit, and you drill the bottom of the pepper mill. And then you switch to another bit to drill through the center, and that's going to go all the way through to the top. It's best to go about halfway, then switch around and drill from the other section here. That's why we left these bosses on there, and we get a hole through the center of our pepper mill. Here I just chucked up the pepper mill, and I taped it and sprayed it with ink, and that will highlight the names on the pepper mill. Once the ink is dry, it's time to sand. I sand all the way up to 400 grit. And here you can see the pepper mill as it's been sanded, and you can see how the name pops out there with the ink inside the pepper mill. And you can also see the hexagon here very well. Now it's time to part everything off. So now we part off the far end, the top end right here, and you can see there it's loose, it's parted off. Okay, now that once it's parted off, this is time when you want to move your around, and you want to clean up the inside of the pepper mill here before we part the other side off. Now we part the bottom end off right here. Okay, now the pepper mill is loose, and when you take it off, you just clean it up with a chisel on the other side, and now we have a hexagon pepper mill. Now the top part of the pepper mill has got to be completed, and you start by drilling a 7mm hole through both ends of the pepper mill. This is for the rod to go through. Okay, once that's done, now we have to size this piece right here so it fits inside of our mill that we just hollowed out, and we fit it right there. Okay, once I get it fitted, one of the things I like to do is finish the inside of the pepper mill right here so the mechanical drive will fit real nice. Then we got to part it off once again. We part this side off, okay, and then we turn it around put it on another chuck, and I turn the other end around and sand everything off there, and we have the top completed mill. The salt shaker is done pretty much in the same manner as the pepper mill, but it's much, much easier to do than the pepper mill. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is my first video, mostly done with pictures. You can reach me once again at mlk1axs@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Bye.